6 books, around 8 movies, with 2 events. Wrap up playlists. Hi guys, and welcome to a new video here on my channel. My name is Andy. Thank you for joining me here today in our chaotic corner of the internet. Now, if you're new here, we do a lot of bookish media fun videos here on the channel, and if this sounds like something you would enjoy, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps a lot. And if you're returning, kisses, thank you for coming back. I love you the most. Now, before we get into today's video, I just want to say May the 4th be with you guys, and happy May 4th to anyone that celebrates. I do believe you're seeing this a bit later, but I think that still counts. And I hope you had a blast on May 4th. You just enjoy a bunch of Star Wars theme events and stuff, and movies and shows and whatever makes you happy. And just I hope you had a lovely, lovely time. Now, on that note, I do have a bit of a surprise for you today. And to give you a bit of a context here, and in case you don't want to hear me blab, I'm gonna pause the time on the screen. But if you want to hear a bit of how I got to this surprise for you, basically I was planning and thinking of doing a whole video of the whole chronological timeline, and if someone is a new fan and wants to join in, could just easily follow that. Okay, lovely idea. It's a blast, of course, in theory. Okay. Now, the more I deep dive and dig into this whole chronological timeline, if you want, I realize, oh, this is a mess. This is so entangled. This is just a complete mess from one way to another. So I scrapped that idea, but I still prepared this lovely sheet for you guys, so with a visual of the whole chronological thing. You can still follow this mostly to a T if you want to watch the canon Star Wars universe in a chronological order. Now, of course, there might be some things that are still missing, or they are still on the gray area if they are still canon or not, because things have been changing lately. But yeah, there are mainly movies and TV shows, as you can see here, with a bunch of main events just for you to have an easier time. I just want to mention that there are a bunch of other games that are also part of the canon, but I did try to keep this as simple as possible for any new fan out there that would like to just start and tap into this lovely universe. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure everything is linked down below for you. It's everything is free, so make sure you grab it if this sounds fun for you, and if you think that will help you maybe start, maybe rewatch, whatever you want to do in terms of the Star Wars universe. Okay, now with that aside, let's finally get into today's video, shall we? Okay, now for today's video, I was actually thinking we can do a wrap up for the month of April. And the April for me, to be honest, was very busy. We also went into a vacation for about a week in Italy. It was absolutely amazing. But in order for me to be able to do that, I had to do a bunch of prep work ahead of time, just to make sure I have everything ready, so I have the videos for you guys, and so on and so forth. So that was very, very busy for me prior to the vacation, and then I just died and went MIA for the week that I was in vacation, because I just was tapped out. I had no longer any drop of energy to put into anything, and I just needed to recharge a bit. And that being said, we didn't have a lot of time to read this month. I did read 6 books that we're gonna talk in just a few seconds, but I don't know. I think I wished I would have read more, but I just didn't have the time. That being said, it's still amazing, and you're gonna see in a few seconds that we had actually a blast in terms of the quality of the books that we read this month. I'm just gonna start in the random order, and I'm gonna start with Shadows of Reason, or Umbra Ratiuni, which would be the Romanian version of this. Now, the English version, it will be published, I believe, in June, something like that. So if you're interested, I'm gonna make sure you link everything you need down below. And this is basically the novella from the Shadow series. Is the whole action happens between Shadow of the Past and Shadow of the Fury, somewhere between there, and it's just like a filler, way more light-hearted, cozy type of a book. Is not that as hardcore as some of the others, but the tone is still there, and you still get some very important information. You get some fillers about our characters and everything there. So very, very much enjoyable. I rated this 4 stars. I actually read it in a day. It was just a blast of a Sunday for me, if you want, just cozying in bed and reading this bad boy. So totally recommend. If you want a bit more details about my reactions or my deep thoughts of this, I'm gonna link here on the screen the vlog that we did reading this bad boy. Okay. Now, next, we're gonna move to the other actually Romanian book or books, if you want, from a Romanian author, and that would be Ploaie. Now, this is the volume one from the Saturn series, and this is we have part one and part two, and this is part one. As you can see, it's quite a chunk of a book, and it's an actual slow burn. And when I say slow burn, I mean kissing in the last 15 pages slow burn, and I ate it up. I absolutely loved it. I compared Sarah's writing with Chloe Walsh. And if you know her writing, then let me know in the comments if you agree with me or not. I do think it's very close to that type of writing, that trauma, that deep dive, that detailed, immersive type of writing. I absolutely love it. I rated this 5 stars. It was a blast. I cannot recommend this book enough. It was a lovely surprise actually, because I went in blindly, and yeah, it was just amazing. Now, for the part two of this same volume, if you want. Now, if part one focuses a lot on our main two characters and their relationship building up and getting to know each other, the whole action will happen actually in part two. And this is a 6 star. So I don't know what's happening with this year. I hope I'm not jinxing it, but oh boy, this is I think the third 6 star that we have this year, and it's just I cannot pick up my jaw off the floor. I think I either get very good or very lucky at picking up my reads, but it has been a blast. This book is absolutely phenomenal. I cannot recommend it enough for you guys. Make sure you grab this, you read it, you devour it, and let me know in the comments what do you think. It's just phenomenal. Now, next, moving on to actually, I think this was the first book that we read this month, which is Night We Met by Amy Jimenez. Now, this was actually my first ever read from Amy Jimenez, and I really, really enjoyed it. I rated this 4 stars. I know some people do think this was a bit too much of a slow burn, or they did not like certain details about it. And if you want to know a bit more of my thoughts in detail about this book, I'm gonna link to you up here the vlog that we did reading this. But it was just amazing. It was fun. It was lovely. I had a complete blast. I would recommend it to anyone. And just so you know, I have never read the first volume in the series, so I think you can go in blindly without any issues. Okay, now those were the 4 books that I actually had in physical form, and there are 2 others that I read. One of them in audiobook format, and one of them for the Kindle. And in audiobook format, I actually read the Bridgerton Volume 7, which is in his kids, which is Hyacinth's story. Now, this was a 4 star for me. I actually really enjoyed it because I did thought it brought a bit more than just the classic will they won't they type of a situation that usually happens in the Bridgerton books. And I did love that extra layer of detective work that they did without giving you any spoilers or anything. Very much enjoyable. I would totally recommend it to anyone. Now, the last book that we actually read was The Deal, which is true. We actually finally started the off campus series. I know, drum rolls, everything you want. I finally started the series. I don't know what rock I was living under until now, but yeah, it's finally happening. So yeah, for the month of April, we actually read The Deal, which is volume one in the off campus series, and is the story of Garrett and Hannah. Now, this is your classical hockey romance. I ate it up. I don't know when I devoured it. It was just I flew through it. It was absolutely, absolutely amazing. I rated 4.5 stars. It just, I don't have anything bad to say about it. It was a blast from one corner to another. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Now, all those are all the 6 books that we actually read this month. I think it was an amazing quality over quantity, if you want, type of a month, because we actually had no book under 4 stars, which is amazing. I don't know what's happening, but I hope this keeps going for the rest of the year. And yeah, it was just absolutely phenomenal. So, yeah, that will be all in terms of the books that I read this month. Now, moving on with events. Now, for the month of April, we had actually 2 events that I attended and I wanted to talk to you about. And first of all, would be a stand up. And not sure if I mentioned this before to you, but I'm a huge stand up fan. Not necessarily an easy pleaser if you want. I'm quite picky about my stand-uppers, but I do love a good show. And this month I actually went to the Met Rife to the Stay Golden tour, which happened in Bucharest, and was absolutely amazing. I actually laughed my ass off. Now I know that his comedy is a bit more direct if you want, and it's not necessarily for everyone, but to each their own. At the end of the day, it's up to their preference. But I really, really enjoyed the show. I had so much fun. I laughed. It was just a dream. So yeah, I will totally recommend this. I'm gonna add here on the screen a bunch of pictures that we took after the show and everything. Because usually for those type of events, you're not allowed to record because they do repeat the same show in each location. So it does make sense for them to keep the mystery. Otherwise, why would people come and see it the next time? Now, for the second one, as I was mentioning to you, we went to Italy for our vacation this month. And actually, something that's very fun, a fun fact if you want about me, is that I do plan my vacation based on the events I'm attending. And for this one, I actually bought, I think around a year or so ago, tickets to the Music of One Tree Hill tour that the Kate and Tyler did, and that would be Kate Voyagel. I'm sorry, I'm butchering her name, and and Tyler Hilton, and that would be Mia Catalano from One Tree Hill and Mr. Chris Keller. And this was just so much fun. I absolutely loved the idea when I heard they were finally going on tour. It was just my inner kid that was completely obsessed with One Tree Hill. And side note, I still am completely obsessed with that show. It's one of my all-time favorites. It was just itching to go inside, and that's exactly what we did. And we planned a whole trip around it, both because we needed and also because, well, we seize the opportunity when we have it. And this was just something else. It was a completely different experience from everything else that I did, any other concert that I attended, simply because the whole concert happened in a club. So it happened in Milan in the Legends Club, I think it was called. It was very much of an intimate type of a setting. Okay, the whole place was quite small. There were not that many people attending. I think about I don't know, a few hundreds maybe, something like that. Uh, but I was lucky enough to get the VIP meet and greet type of a ticket, which means I went in a bit earlier, met both Kate and Tyler, took a picture, get a merch early in advance, and everything. It was just a blast, and also got the best seats, which were right down the stage. I'm gonna post here some pictures. I'm gonna post a video and everything for you, so you can see a bit of my experience. Now, I was right there on the barricade, and being such a small thing, I never felt so close to them. I was literally right there on the scene, and it felt like they were singing to me just simply because I was right there in front and center of everything. It was a blast. It was lovely. I am absolutely obsessed. And there's nothing like that I've ever experienced, and I'm not sure if I ever will. And with that being said, I also discovered a new artist. So in the opening act they had was Maddox Jones. I will have to be honest with you, I had no idea about his music before, but after this became a fan. I loved his energy. I loved his vibe. It reminded me a lot of Ed Sheeran.
Of a simpler time, dreaming the day away into an 8-track recorder, wishing you were mine.
In that way, he's also British as well, but I don't think that's necessarily related to anything. And I just absolutely love his music. I love his lyrics, the energy, and everything like that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to ever see him in such an intimate setting, because I just think he will just explode once people get to listen more to his music. So yeah, it was just absolutely amazing. They went through so many of the songs, and actually, just to show you something very fun. Um, I actually got to the set list that both Maddox and Kate and Tyler had, and this is actually the Maddox one. I hope you can see. Now, of course, it's scribbled, and well, that's his writing actually, and that makes it even better, even more personal. And it says Tyler on the back. Not sure if you can see. But yeah, this was so much fun. Actually, at the end of the show, I just asked him if I can keep this, and he was like, "Yeah, sure." Most probably he was going throwing away, but for me, this is a keepsake from the concert, and it's just so much fun. And I also got one from the main set list, and this is just the regular printed one here. That was right there on the stage with them, and this was the whole set and everything. So yeah, those were some of the keepsakes that I got from there. Now, moving on, I did get a bunch of goodies from the merch stand, and I'm gonna start in a random order. But since we were talking about Maddox Jones, this was his album that he had on sale right there on the merch stand, and it's called "Waiting for the World to Turn." and it's actually the standard version. He also had a deluxe that went out in the meantime that he did not have available on sale, which I was slightly bummed about until I find out there was actually a fix. So let me just show you in a minute. But for this was his album, as I was mentioning, and what I love the most is that it's actually signed. So after the concert, we could meet him at the merch stand, and he would sign things for us, take pictures, everything. I should took a picture with him. He's a lovely human being. I absolutely loved his whole vibe and energy. And as I was mentioning, for the deluxe version, unfortunately, he did not have that one available for sale, which is called "Still Waiting for the World to Turn," something like that. But all the songs that were added onto that one were sold in this separate EP with 4 songs, and it's actually this one is also signed. I hope you can see there because it's black on black. But yeah, basically this was the result as well, and I loved it. It was a new discovery. I had no idea about him before, but I'm clearly a fan now. Now moving uh, on the other merch that I got from Kate and Tyler, I actually got Tyler's. I think this is the latest CD that he had available for sale, and I was looking also for Kate's latest vinyl and also their live CD, but that was no longer available. And as you saw here, it's also signed, and I love that every piece of merch that I got from there, it's signed and it's just a different type of a vibe. So yeah, this was one of them as well. And last but not least, as I mentioned, I got the poster, and this one is signed as well. Let me just show you a poster here. I hope you can see there. And as I mentioned, everything is signed, and this is one of my most prized possessions now. And it was just, I was mind blown, and I was so starstruck, and I was fangirling so bad. I had an amazing time. It's just something, something else all together. So yeah, that's it for the events that I've attended this month. Um, to continue on the same night, I'm gonna show you a bunch of the other stuff that I bought. Not too many, but it was my birthday at the end of March, so I did get a few extra vinyls. I had one that was delivered in April, even though I ordered it in February, something like that. But let's take them one by one. So for my trip, I also got another CD. So we went to Milan for a week, but one of those days we actually went to Como as well. And in that day, we were just browsing a bunch of stores and everything on our way to, the dock, so we can just go on the ferry and everything. And we found this lovely, lovely vinyl CD store. It just had the smell, the vibe. We could have stayed there forever. I didn't get much because the luggage was limited, but I did had a very exciting finding, and this is actually an Ed Sheeran CD. And this was, I believe, his first one ever before Plus, and this is basically number 5, and this was his first collab. I almost say it's an EP because it all about 8 songs on it, and there are a bunch of collaborations with a few of other English artists. It was just so much fun. I've never seen this in a physical format before, and I was just blasted. I think everyone knows number 6, which is a later compilation project that followed, but number 5 is not so known to everyone except you're maybe a fan. If you're maybe a fan. So yeah, this was an absolute awesome find. I was jumping through it when I saw it. It was just locked in. It was awesome. So as I was mentioning, it was my birthday in March, so I did get 2 extra vinyls, if you want, that got delivered this month. And the first one is Sabrina Carpenter's Man's Best Friend, which apparently I didn't had. I only listened to it on streaming. And this is the white iridescent, yeah, pressing, as you can see here, and it's just amazing. Aside from that, I also got Benson Boone's first album, and this is just so much fun. This is Fireworks and Rollerblades, and I think this is the clear. Yeah, this is the clear vinyl pressing. We're just checking to see if there's any naming to it. Last but not least, Hilary Duff's latest album here, which is Luck or Something, and this is a pink vinyl pressing here. Now, this took forever to be delivered to me, to be honest. It's staying customs for so long that I thought it will never actually be delivered. But all in all, it got to me, so that's all that matters in the end. So yeah, those were all the CDs slash vinyls that I got this month. Now, in terms of book, I only bought one this month, and that's as much of a shocker to me as it is to you. And it's actually The Shadows of Obsession, the collector's edition. And as you can see here, This is an absolute gorgeous uh edition, and it also has a few colored artworks inside. Let me just show you. So yeah, it's a lovely, amazing edition. I plan on getting all of them and just have them displayed so nicely. But yeah, this would be volume one from the Shadow series, and I also got a lovely notebook from Bookbite that was fluffy for the month of April. And I also got another order in for the newest notebook, which was exclusive in one of the bookshop in one of the book fests in Romania, but that's still to come in. So I'm gonna show that to you next time. Okay, now I think that's it in terms of purchases that I made this month. Okay, now and that is not too much. I think it's fine, especially in terms of books. We only got one. I think it was more music, vinyl stuff this month to show you. And I think with that we can move on to maybe TV shows. When it comes to TV shows this month, I feel like I haven't watched that many new ones. I think I basically this month was all about my massive rewatch of One Tree Hill, which I wanted to complete, which I almost did. I mean, I think I'm at the last season, something like that, before the concert, just so I was all clear and fresh in my mind. I think I watched the show about 8 or 9 times, and that says a lot about me. But I really enjoyed it. I absolutely love it, and I had a very good time just rewatching it. And I think that was what mainly occupied my whole month. Now, in terms of new TV shows that I watch, we're actually watching as we go, because we have a one episode a month type of a situation with three other TV shows, and that would be Daredevil Born Again, and we have on Wednesdays, I think, a new episode each week. We also had Mole, which is the latest Star Wars TV show, and restarted. I think this is season 4 about a week or 2 weeks ago, something like that. So I was all right into it. I still have no idea what's happening in that TV show. The finale from season 3 just made me even more confused, but like in the best way possible. I'm just waiting for clues, and I'm trying to understand what's going on. But I am completely obsessed with that TV show. If you're looking for something a bit more horrorish, puzzly, very confusing, if you want to question everything that's happening and you have to have no idea what's going on for the entirety of the time, make sure you watch From. It's just so interesting, and I'm extremely curious what the hell is going on there, because it's not clear at all for me right now. So yeah, that will be it for TV shows that we watch this month. Moving on with movies. So now, for the month of April, as I was mentioning, it was quite a busy month all in all, and I found myself drawn towards rather watching a movie than a TV show, which was a bit unexpected, but I guess I'm growing up. I don't know. I'm maturing, if you want. Ugh. Anyway, so yeah, I just found myself drawn rather towards watching a movie than a TV show. Case in point, we did watch quite a bit this month. By that I mean around 8 movies, which is more than I usually watch. Some of these were at the cinema, some of these were at home, but I'm just gonna take them in a random order. I'm also gonna put this on the screen here on the screen for you, my wrap up from Letterbox. And you have the account on my profile down in the description in case you're curious and you wanna follow me there as well. Now, I'm gonna take them from the first to the latest, if you want, from our list. And the first one I actually watched in the month of April was the new Super Mario movie, and I believe it's called the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I did not expect to enjoy this as much as I did, to be frank with you. Basically, because I don't know, you're not going to Super Mario movie expecting a deep story and something very meaningful and powerful. You're just there for a good time, not a long time, if you know what I mean. We finally got some backstory on Peach, which is new and refreshing, because I don't believe we got that before, as far as I remember, at least all in all, and I am enjoying this immensely. So yeah, I rated this 5 stars. A 5 out of 5, if you want. Now next we have Crime 101, and I was a bit late to the trend because I believe this was released sometime in February, but I got distracted with other things and I never ended up watching it. Now we finally did watch it this month, and I was slightly disappointed, you guys. I was expecting more. I think the hype around it was the one that fooled me and made me expecting that we're not there. So this was most probably on me, but I felt bored. I think that's the best way of mentioning, of summing up everything. I just felt bored. So yeah, unfortunately, this was a 2 out of 5 for me. Next we have Mercy, and I believe this is the latest Chris Pratt movie that we got on Amazon Prime, and this was a lovely surprise. The whole premise of the movie is that um they're living in a world that's basically ruled by AI, and in case you're found guilty of any crime, you have about an hour and all the resources available for you to prove your innocence. That's very much the purpose of it all, and it was very much interesting, the whole idea behind it. And of course, Chris Pratt here is our main detective that is found guilty of a bunch of crimes, and he has that span of time to prove his innocence using all the resources provided, basically. And yeah, the whole thing was a blast. It was so much fun, it was so interesting. We actually got to see the difference then a human intervention makes in those situations. So as much as AI can be useful in certain situations, I think the whole movie was emphasizing how much the human touch makes a whole lot of difference. In this case, was life or death, but yeah, basically it made a whole bunch of difference. So yeah, this was a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Next, we have K-pop Demon Hunters, and I didn't knew the songs from this movie. I was already crazy obsessed about them, but I never actually watched the movie until this month when we were just browsing through things, and I, you know what, I never actually watched that, and let's just do it. And of course, no contest there. It was phenomenal. It was amazing. I cannot wait for the second one. So the songs were 5 out of 5. The movie was 5 out of 5. Everything was just a blast. This was one of my favorite movies this month. Next, we have the drama, and this is the new Zendaya and Robert Pattinson movie. We saw this actually at the cinema. We're actually going in a bit blindly. We had no idea what to expect, and we want to do a lot of digging beforehand, and we just wanted to be in blindly and just had a lot of fun. And that's exactly what we did. And to be honest with you, dear, it was a bit artistic if you want. I do think that certain things were exaggerated for the sake of being exaggerated, but all in all, I had a lovely time. And this was a 4 out of 5. Okay, next we have Mickey 17, and we're talking about the Late to the Trend. This was a movie from last year, and actually the premise was quite interesting. We're talking about this organization that was using this test subjects on volunteer basis, of course, that were there basically to test a bunch of medicine and a bunch of other things, to make the world a better place, if you want. And our main character, which is played by Robert Pattinson, was this volunteer, and his whole job was testing this all extreme stuff from medicine to weapons to everything that you want. And of course, he kept dying and dying and dying and dying every single time. Now they did had this machine that was cloning him all all over again, and the whole premise of the movie started when one of the clones actually didn't die, and they were it was presumed dead. And when the old clone and the new one meet, that's where the whole thing starts. Now, the whole premise was super mega interesting up to the midpoint of the movie, okay? But from that point on, I think it was a bit dragged. It was, I don't know, not that entertaining that I was hoping. I think it was a 2.5 for me out of 5. It was just, I think it had a lot of potential. It was just not it for me. Next, we have the Thursday Murder Club, and yes, we finally watched the movie. The book was I was not impressed by the book. I think you remember when we were discussing the wrap up a few videos ago. That was not my favorite book. I think it was mid at best, at least in my opinion, and how I saw things. Now the movie, I'm happy to report it was better, and I do believe it's mostly because of the cast, because we had a blasting amazing cast that was simply doing the whole show and making the whole show. So I really enjoyed the movie. I actually give it 4 out of 5. I am gonna stand by the idea that the book was mid maybe for me, but the movie was actually worth it. So if you're curious about it, I would totally recommend you watch this one. Now, last but not least, talking about rom-coms is Yumi and Tuscany. And this is actually the last movie we saw that this month. And it was right before our vacation. We went at the cinema to see it. Now, this is your classical heartwarming rom-com. It was amazing. It was lovely. It was just exactly what the doctor ordered. all happy ending here, nothing traumatic, nothing like that. But yeah, it was just absolutely amazing. We have our main character, Hell Bailey, I believe her name is. She was also the actress that played the Little Mermaid in the live action movie. And we have Reggio, who's the main actor that played the Duke of Hastings in season 1 of Bridgerton. And their chemistry and everything on screen was absolutely amazing. I loved every second of it. I will totally recommend it, and this was a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Yeah, so I think those were all the movies that we saw this month, and there were quite a few, and quite enjoyable. Most of them. I think my favorite, if I will have to call a favorite, will be K-pop Demon Hunters. Now, next, usually this is the point where we would update the series tracker that we have. Been working on, as you saw in the video, and I'm gonna link you here if in case you missed it. Now, because we just did it, I'm gonna skip it for today, because we are mostly up to date. We do have to add off campus there to the series, but we can do that next month, no problem. Now, before we wrap today's video, actually there's one more important topic that we need to talk, and that would be music. Now, for the music of the month of April, I think it was a long list of songs that could have been added here, both new releases and some all new discoveries that I had. And in case you don't know, I do have a Spotify account. I'm gonna link it down below for you, in which we created those monthly wrap up playlists. We also have a few playlists inspired by books, a few community picks. It's just a lot of fun there. So if that's something that you would enjoy, make sure you follow me there as well. Now, for the month of April, we had quite some very strong contenders in terms of music, and we have some fun new albums that were released this month. We also have some new singles. We have a bunch of music that I just discovered and I wanted to share with you there. So I'm just gonna go through some of the main mentions, and I'm gonna let you discover the whole playlist by yourself. You can find the whole thing down below. Now, what I think it's on everyone's minds this month, and I can totally vouch for that, is Noah Khan's new album that's called The Great Divide, The Last of the Bugs. Now, this album is phenomenal. I was not expecting anything less from him. And if I would have to pick my top favorite, ooh, this is gonna be tough. That would be Downfall. I think that's my favorite song from the album. And yeah, I cannot wait to listen to it a bit more and just deep dive into the lyrics, because that's one of the strongest suits that he has. The lyrics are absolutely phenomenal. Now, aside from that, we had a new single from Olivia Rodrigo. Of course, we have Drop Dead, which I listened to it obsessively this month. I was actually looking at my wrap up, and I had about 127 listens, something like that, of Drop Dead, which is a bit excessive, but you know what? I'm not sorry. I love that song. Just such a good song. It's so well written. The music and everything ties together, and it's nice to see a love song from Olivia. Now I know that she will most probably skip the whole thing and just dive right direct into depression land, but yeah, I cannot wait for this album. I'm extremely excited about it. And we also got a new announcement of a new tour. That's very fun, and we'll soon have the tickets out for sale. Now, aside from that, Demi Lovato also had a new single released this month, and it's called Low Rise Jeans. Um, Now, I do have to be honest with you, I think I enjoyed her music a bit more, like the old type of music, not necessarily the Disney era, but right after it, rather than the new ones. They're quite catchy. Some of them I actually enjoy, but it's not top of my list. I added it there just in case you wanna check it out. Then Simone Ashley uh actually released an album, and I was a bit shocked because I had no idea she's a singer as well. I know her as an actress. She's lovely, she's amazing, she's so beautiful, it's gorgeous. But she also released this EP that's called Songs I Wrote in New York, and I believe there are about 5 6 songs, something like that, on that EP. I was very shocked. I had no idea that she can actually sing, to be frank with you here. But the songs are quite enjoyable and quite nice, so I was completely locked in. I was a fan, so I added that to the playlist as well. Next, in terms of singers, we have the new Ava Max songs, which is called Out of Your Mind. Most probably this will be part of the new album that will be coming out. 90% positive on that. But I love this song. It was very much Eva Max coded. I would love to see her in concert. I haven't got the chance to do that yet, but I will be all in for it. Now, next, another big hit of the month is gonna be the new Sabrina Madonna song, which is called "Bring Your Love." Now, this will be part of Madonna's new album, and yes, she will be releasing a new album soon, which was such a surprise. It's so nice to see her back into music after so long. She's always been the queen, and I love the way her voice sounds next to Sabrina. I think they have a very good chemistry in terms of music. Now, if you listen to this song, it's such Madonna coded. Um, it's just amazing. I was on the fence. I was not sure what to expect, if we're gonna have those hardcore, very deep, cutthroat lyrics from Sabrina, or we're gonna get that pop bop music from Madonna. And we got the latest, and it's just so nice and so refreshing to see and to listen to that type of sound again, because it's very typical Madonna, and it's just a great time to be alive to have new Madonna music at this point. Then, now with the new my new discovery of the month with Maddox John's music, I also added there some of my favorite songs from his albums. Now I do encourage you to go and check them out, because they are so much fun. They are a blast. But I do have to be honest with you. I think my favorite is 21 and Split the Bill. Those two are my favorite, and the third would be Everyone But Me. Those are my top favorite, but he has so many good ones there. Now, next, Zayn also had a new single dropping this month. It's called Side Effects. That was very enjoyable. It's very dancey, so if you're not into that, just beware. But yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. Now, before I let you leave, I also want to mention Olivia Dean's new single, which is called Nice to Each Other. I do believe it was released recently. I'm very new at being an Olivia Dean fan. Yeah, this month I actually started to listen a bit more of her, and I'm she started grow. She started to grow on me basically. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It's called Nice to Each Other. In case I haven't mentioned, I do believe it's pretty new. But don't take my word. Take my word with a pinch of salt, because I'm not 100% sure of that. Now, next one, another song that I would like to really mention to you. Now, I believe everyone here knows the song Hallelujah. It's been covered over and over again. And for all One Tree Hill fans out there, I do believe you know that Kate Voyagel had a version of Hallelujah in the TV show. Now, recently they did recorded a duo version of it with Tyler, and it just sounds absolutely amazing. His voice on those lyrics and everything, just they complement each other so well. It's just phenomenal. So I made sure to add that to the list so you can check it out in case you haven't yet. Last but not least, we have the soundtrack from The Devil Wears Prada, which is a very strong contendant to one of the best movies of the month of May. I cannot wait to see it. I'm actually gonna go and see it in a few days. It's just so fun and so exciting. I cannot wait to see it back. The original one was one of my favorites, so it's gonna be fun to see it all reenacted again, and tap back into that universe if you want. So I'm very much excited about it. But what I did in the meantime was listening to the soundtrack, and I haven't added a soundtrack to so completely to my favorites in a very long time. It's just so good, and a few of my favorite mention would be Runaway, the Lady Gaga and Doechi song, also Mr. Electric by Lafay. I'm not butchering her name, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Another strong one would be Shape of a Woman by Lady Gaga. And last but not least would be Walk of Fame, which is a Miley Cyrus unexpected song with Brittany Howard. This soundtrack is so good, you guys. It's so good. I just really I'm really obsessed with it. I was listening on the plane on it non-stop. That will be it with the songs of the month of April. Again, if you want to check out the place, I'm gonna link it down below. It's on my Spotify account. Feel free to check it out. I believe we'll conclude our video here today. Now, I know it's been quite a long one, so if you're still here with me, kisses, thank you so much for choosing to spend the day with me here. Make sure you check the description box down below, where I added all the links, and also the Star Wars chronology freebie that I was mentioning at the beginning. Make sure you check our playlist there. And yeah, let's chat more in the comments. Until next time, you guys, stay cozy in your chaos. Bye!